I'm filing for my father.
Yes.
And it went through in February of this year. I wanted to know how long of a process does that take?
Where's your father?
He's here.
You filing an adjustment or an I-130? What'd you do so far?
It says Form I-797C.
How much money did you pay the U.S. government?
$535.
That's it?
Yes.
Okay. So far, you haven't left the starting gate. So if he's here in the United States, you want to adjust the status. By filing the I-130, nothing's happening, other than you getting a visa petition approved. So you've wasted all the time from February up to this point, unfortunately. You need to file an adjustment so he can get a work permit and get scheduled for an interview for a green card.
I'm a U.S. citizen. I'm trying to adopt my niece and nephew. They're origin from Algeria. The daughter, 11 years old, and they have 8 years old, and another boy, 6 years old.
Okay, and my question to you is, where's the mother and father?
The father, he's kind of, this ignorant guy.
He's abandoned the children?
Yeah, he's abandoned the children pretty much, I guess.
And the mother?
And the mother, she is very sick. I sponsored my parents, and my parents, they do live in the U.S., so they were sitting with them, and then they had to go to their mom, but their mom, she's very miserable, and I want to be the person in charge, responsible.
All right, so you have to bring them to America as orphans. We don't want to kill off the mother, obviously. We want her to be well. The father's disappeared, but when you have a situation where the father disappeared and the mother is incapable of taking care of the children, you can have the local authorities, and we can help you with that. Every country, there's a civil authority that's in charge of children. I don't know what it's called in Algeria, but they will come and they'll come and they'll make an application and say, you know what, the mother's incapable of taking care of these children. She doesn't have money. She's sick. She should basically have her rights as a mother stripped away.
Yeah, okay. and the people who were taking care of them are my parents, but they are here in America now. They are no longer.
Fine, I understand. So it would have to be taken care of by somebody else. Somebody else is taking care of them. And we have to basically strip the mother of her parental rights, strip the father of his parental rights, and he has no rights because basically he abandoned the children anyway. Now they're orphaned. They have no mother, they have no father. And then while you're doing that in Algeria, on our end here in the United States of America, we're doing what's called a pre-adoption. A pre-adoption is when you go to the court, wherever you live locally. You're in California, so you would do it in California, and you do what's called a pre-adoption application, where you say to a judge, I got these 2 kids in Algeria. This is my situation here. I have this nice home. This is what I earn. Here's my fingerprints. I'm not a sexual predator. I'm not a child molester. I have a nice, clean home. They send a social worker to your home to check you out. And the judge says, okay, I'm very happy with what I'm seeing here. I think you'll be a good parent. When these children come to America, I would be more than happy to sign an adoption order making you the parent of these children. So now you have what's called the pre-adoption. You strip the parents of their parental rights in Algeria. Now you can go to the Immigration Service and file an orphan petition. Say, I've been pre-approved for an adoption by my local judge. These kids have no parents in Algeria. Let's bring them over with a green card. And then you start the immigration process. You bring them over. They have a green card, but you're not done yet because you got to go back to your local judge and actually do the adoption at that point. And once the adoption is done, then they become automatic U.S. citizens.
My son is the F1 student. His father is the LPR. He submitted an I-130, 485, and EAD along with his I-130 for his siblings in Jamaica in December 2020. He'll be 21 this year. What will happen for him?
What will happen is eventually he'll get his green card because he's under the Child Status Protection Act, because you get the pendency of the I-130 to stay in the F2A category.
If I'm the beneficiary and my husband and I live in my cousin's basement, we're going to need a co-sponsor for my paperwork, but my cousin is willing to help a little, but iffy about doing it because our address is his address. Is that a problem?
No, it's not.
My mom, she just, had her interview today, so everything was good, so her visa, she was accepted. So, because I'm a United States citizen, but I got a brother, that's my point. So what is your advice? So my mom, she's going to come over here as a green card holder?
When your mom comes over as a green card holder, she can turn around and file for your brother. That's the advice.
So that's the fastest way, right?
That's the fastest way, correct.
He's going to finish 21 in June.
Oh, wait,
so how long is it going to be?
About 7-8 years, because he's going to be over 21.
Oh, okay.
Nothing
all
you
right.
can do about
Thank
it.
you so much.
All right.
I'm calling on behalf of my sister. What happened is her father filed for her. She got the interview to go in, but they asked for ongoing relationship. Now, what happened is this. She had already submitted her school form to show ongoing relationship, but they wanted additional information. So what she did, based on the form that she received, there was a tick on it, say she could have done a DNA if she could locate the other documents. No, she went ahead and did the DNA at the embassy, and then afterwards she had located the documents, so she also sent that. Now the DNA now came back that it wasn't her father after 40 years. Now what happened is that they had send it back, return it to NPC, even though she has additional proof to say that she has an ongoing relationship with her dad. What can she do? Can something be done?
No, it's not your father, or not her father, whoever it may be. Unfortunately, it's sad, but that's it.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay, so after all these years, nothing can be done.
Yeah, it's sad emotionally because you think this man's your father and he's not. And it's sad for your life because you thought you were getting a green card and now you're not.
Right, because she has a visa and she has been going back and forth to stay with him also. And she took care of his money too and all of that in Jamaica.
Not her father.
Okay, because he's on her birth certificate since.
It doesn't matter. He's not the father.
Mm-hmm. Okay, understood.
Sorry about that.
I have a daughter in Jamaica who's disabled. I'm now a citizen of the United States. Is it possible for me to file for her to come to the U.S.?
Yes, but just because she's disabled, they're not going to make it go faster.
I'm a U.S. citizen living outside of the USA. I want to come to the U.S. to live, and I want to bring my 4 children. What should I do?
She's a U.S. citizen?
Yeah.
Okay.
Living outside of the U.S.
If you can prove that you were living in the United States for 5 years after your 14th birthday and prior to any of your children's births, then you take them into the U.S. Embassy, get them U.S. passports, they're U.S. citizens, and you all come back immediately. That to me is the fastest way. If not, then you would have to file visa petitions for your children and wait on their green cards, and then when they enter the U.S. with you, they would become automatic citizens. But presumably, if you were a citizen when you were a younger person, they would be automatic citizens, or if you lived in the United States for any 5-year period before they were born.
I filed a petition for my mom that was living in Jamaica like a year ago, and it is still pending. But she just recently came to the States on her visitor's visa. Is it possible I can continue her filing by filing the adjustment of status?
Yes, you can. I just want you to wait 90 days. And the reason I want you to wait 90 days is because if she comes into the United States on a visit and you file her adjustment within the first 90 days of her entry, there is a immigration rule that was codified under the Trump administration that says she committed misrepresentation. She lied when she came into the U.S. She said she was visiting, but filed an adjustment within 90 days. Nobody in the world would file an adjustment of status within 90 days after they said they were visiting unless they were lying. And then you have a problem with misrepresentation. If you file more than 90 days, there's no misrepresentation. So you would file an I-45 with a copy of the receipt notice for the I-130. You don't have to file a new I-130. And I would do it after 90 days, and your mother's going to stay here and get a green card here in the United States.
Despite I already filed a petition for her already,
Yes.
right?
Yes, correct. So you're going to take the receipt notice for that petition and submit it with the adjustment. You don't need to do a new I-130.
Okay, got you. Thank you so much.
And if you need help, you know who to call. You already called me.
I can call you and you will help me with everything.
You better believe it.
Okay, I'll save the number.
Okay, thanks. Thanks for watching. For more Brad Show Live, like and subscribe to our YouTube channel.